think it's just her recognition that if your God has faith in you, then like what can you, like, you could accomplish so many things. So they're just trying to believe in that and hold it like a sweater you're trying to imagine around you, that you know, you're like willing your body to like believe in something that physically isn't there. So immediately she's going to go to her bed, get the I know she must have carried like one or two journals of Kara's, and using the morning to just skim through this and study this. The moment anyone awakes, she'll like, Osani is just sitting there, just like skimming through, and I don't know if she would immediately say what happened or what the conversation was like, but she will kind of pull it into conversation. I can see her like itching to like talk about it. But she's just going to look through Kara's journals and study on that until everyone awakes.
I think too, what might also echo in your mind every so often is the fact that a God has belief in you, when the expression of you believing in a God is more so expressed. But she trusts you with this task ahead. Who amongst the rest of the party would be the first to rise? Because again, it's dark outside. Another rainy. Truthfully, if you weren't all adventurers, I imagine it would be a great day to like cozy up with like a book and just stay indoors. But there is work to be done.
I think uncharacteristically, I think Deodora might be the last person to get up. She had a day yesterday.
Yes, she
did. Yeah.
Astani would walk in on Rory with a small cube in their hand.
You can't eat it.
It has long been established that I can, just not without consequences. Also, you're awake.
Good morning. Yes, you can. I'm saying more. You can't eat it as a request, especially in these close quarters. And walls, and stone, and possible lightning that could shatter all these windows.
Oh, well, I've been thinking about measures for that, and one of them is, well, I would say it's a theory, but it's a little bit more than a theory for me now these days, which is, if I remember correctly, there are other planes of existence I could go to in order to more accurately test them without harming anyone. Unfortunately, I do not think that is an adventure that we have time for yet.
So, the inquisitive side of me would want to see this. If we can find a moment to do that in our next... after our next travels, I would join.
Did you sleep well?
I slept. I was visited by the lady last night, and it's not one that I expected. And they will kind of quickly summarize what they said. I'm trying to write down as much as possible. Remember everything, but and try to look at every resource that is in front of us. Something that is amiss that maybe we have gleamed over. Maybe the reason I am here is to provide fresh eyes. I don't know, but when she said it is in front of me, that it should open up answers as we keep moving forward, I am going to lean on that. How did you
Well,
sleep?
I don't usually.
Rest? Stand? Meditate?
Let us say our resting period passed with ease.
Hour?
Yes, I believe you've heard mention of this before.
Yes, I didn't want to ask. I didn't want to. Yes, I've heard of it before.
If you have a question, you can feel free to ask. Otherwise, I assure you, you will find out in time.
Well, my only question is do you prefer they, or you, do you have, who is the other?
Blackstone.
I think it's a quick look to the sleeping Theodora and back. Do they know?
Yes, they are actually rather painfully aware.
Yes, I'm saying, do they know that it is still our?
Questioning is carved across Rory's features.
They held a pain when I last saw them. A pain of loss, of friends, of something. I didn't ask for more. And then, again, the name happened. Again, I didn't ask, but the connections kept going over and over. You're saying our as if they are still here, but to them, they are not.
Well, because both of those things are true. I see. This is going to take a moment, but I believe that it's time we have. And, well, looking at her, I'm sure Theodora will enjoy a little bit more rest while I explain.
All right.
Would you mind taking a seat?
Yes, here, let me move my items off of, and then they'll get from the bed to towards you and just sit down.
Okay. Rory also picks a place to sit. And then the room goes white. I believe we've been here before. I simply remember to have you sit this time to make this a little bit less unpleasant experience.
That's what that was. Yes, I feel the unsettling in my stomach already.
So, using the telepathy with which I normally communicate, this is a more enhanced version that I like to use for explaining things. Makes it easier to pass information when you can both hear and see.
Oh. Great. Do I just stand still?
Oh, well, you're already seated somewhere. you're free to move around in this space. This is happening in your mind.
They do that slow motion of getting up and trying to look where they're seated at, and then finally stepping very slowly. Everything is white, so they're just like, I don't know where to put my feet. But they've been here before, and they just follow Rory like closer, just like, I'll stick by your side then.
Here, why don't we imagine a familiar place? Do you have a particular place that you like?
Immediately it's the rustling, like lower parts of the cities where like it's like near the fishing areas, and there's food, like food stalls, and smells of everything, and loud noises, and just water nearby. Oh, that came to me quickly. I guess I am craving some fried fish. Didn't
Or
think that.
maybe the feeling of home?
Yes, I am missing home.
And there's like a smash cut to that exact scene, except that you are watching, like you are surrounded by it, but the sounds are muted and people are walking by, but seem to be entirely unaware of the two of you.
She's doing that thing of like, what? Like trying to like get people's attention, or like, oh, great. I see what you mean.
It is a place that is drawn from your memories, but we are not physically in this place. But at least you know where to stand now. The ground is here. So, to explain, I am an inventor and a smith. My name is Rory, in a short sense. As a matter of fact, hold on. And an a half orc appears in steampunk goggles and a smock and leathers. I am the inventor of this being, and this is the person that you have been like the form that you have been walking around with for the last several days. My particular expertise is experimenting with, well, energies, and in particular, the understanding of how spirit energy infuses the world and works and functions in different ways to use it. And, well, in the process of my many experiments, I have created this being for, well, and the vision in the background has, like, you see like a tremor run through the background. There is a feeling of heat and warmth and a bit of discomfort before Rory just kind of like closes their eyes and waves their hand a bit, and the image resettles. This is Blackstone, who I made for a particular purpose at, let's say, a very tumultuous time. During my time, when I was alive, catastrophe came to our home, and in order to prevent the dangers there from spilling into the rest of the world, the place that I hail from separated themselves from the veil. There is a small bubble in the world where the spirits of the people who live there are not able to cross over. In an effort to preserve me alive somehow, my sister placed within the body of Blackstone my soul and hers. So, we just sort of live here. Well, two of us now. There was a rather unfortunate incident with a cabal of, well, villainous people, to say the least, who are also rather bent on using what they understand of spirit energy to do rather terrible things to both individual people and the world at large. And they have taken it. In the process of all of these adventures leading up to this moment, when my sister was taken, Blackstone went into the far corners of his own soul to learn what it is that he was made for and what they can do. And until he returns, I am here keeping watch of all of the people that they have come to care for. He is aware of what happens out there, but not as actively involved as I am, at least not for the time. And at some point, when they are done learning what it is that they wish to learn, they will reemerge and I will have a time to retire. I'm not sure what that looks like because, as I have said before, I won't be going to the Vale anytime soon. Maybe I'll keep the library in order. Maybe I will find a more effective way for them to keep notes in the future. Or become better friends with Corbin. Have Blackstone make me into a familiar hero. Who knows? So, to review, I am this person, but also, and there is the silhouette of a woman with a long dress and long dark hair. There is this this automaton that you see, but instead of indigo colorations, their colorations are all cobalt blue. And in their hand, they hold a small mouse. And next to them is the half-orc in goggles and leathers and stuff. In essence, I am all of these things, and after a manner, none of them.
How
I will say that Theodora is aware that this one is on a quest, but I would imagine that for many reasons, especially at a time when, well, we have seen other things happen to people that she cares for. I imagine it is a heavy, a ponderous, and anxious thing for her to wait until her friend returns.
this is how familiar is is this the idea of people lost in an area where they cannot transfer over? How familiar is that to Asani?
Why don't you roll a history or a religion check?
It's a 19 plus religion is 7.
Okay. It is, as so many of these magics often are, forbidden. It essentially is an emergency plan, so to speak. For once that thread is cut, it can almost never be reestablished. It's like moving into a dead zone, so to speak. Her reach will not be able to. It's very likely the souls will be trapped, unable to move on. That's why the veil works as it does. Fairies often working to help ferry the souls on to the next area where they can. The clerics doing the same. The monks protecting those boundaries. All of it working together, much like a river, feeding itself. Moving into areas where things are dead or dying. A wildfire, making a forest stronger than it once was before. This cuts that off entirely. It is denying a plant's sun. Therefore, it's forbidden. And it typically, with the role that you got, you would know that it typically takes 2 people to cast such a severance. But not only that, but to bind another soul to a body. This city didn't have its back turned by the Lady of the Veil. And I think in the remnants that you're getting those images of not exactly Felk itself, but just I imagine just knowing Rory, the wavelengths, each a ripple effect in the water that you now find yourself in. And the number is massive. Lives that were snuffed out, and in this case, interestingly enough, don't seem to be aware that they were snuffed out. Revenants forced to continue to walk ahead, but never moving beyond that line. You've never personally heard of something like this before, and in fact, this all seems a bit strange, but you've seen stranger things over the last couple of days.
Yeah. They just wanted to get that information as you were talking, Rory, and they're just nodding, walking through this memory of their home. You both exist, and she is aware. Thank you for sharing. This is a very new, albeit everything is new, but new concept for me, but not at all something of caution or fear, just curiosity.
Understandable. It is understandably a sort of story and information that has been kept away from most of the world. But as you being involved here is going to put you in grave danger, I think it probably helps for you to at least people that you are in that danger with. And so here we are.
Could you, if you wish, could you show me where your ground is? Or your home?
I suppose one day if we wander back to it, sure. Well, I suppose I will, somewhat befittingly, be there in spirit when that happens.
Will I know if it is you or Blackstone that I'm talking to?
Oh, well, the particular vessel that I created here does have diagnostic lights that make it very easy for you to read that.
I just want to be respectful. I don't want to, run to you about things that I don't know Blackstone likes. I'm not really sure how it works, so...
Well,
What if I have a new tea or food or clothing for your friend?
Astani,
Yes.
Blackstone is a person. How do you get to know people?
I know. I just have gotten used to calling one my friend and expecting them through the door. So if another arrives, taking the steps again to open yourself up and learn, and then going back to, if you do come back, or I don't understand, but you see what I mean? It's just a confusion. I just wanted to be respectful.
On the one hand, I suppose there is some confusion considering that we're both similar in form and dissimilar in so many other ways. But perhaps that is, well, there is a innate connection you have to the world of spirits. The spirits that we encounter, each of them, are very different from one another, like fingerprints. And in that sense, Blackstone and I are very distinct. I think it will be rather easy for you, in fact, to notice.
Good.
Oh,
Good.
there was one other thing I wanted to mention to you, but that's more about planar theory. And between planar theory and my notions on applied science and spirits, that's a long conversation that we can probably save for another time. And I think we'll
we have a whole journey ahead of us, don't we? So, honestly, I could start talking about planar theory immediately. I only have the books and research from the Temple District myself. However, it is logged with a lot of theology and religion, but still astute facts woven in between. And if Theodora does not mind, why not fill the journey with talk?
I feel like that is a journey that we could also bring Theodora on. I also think I know how, but I suppose we should ask her when she wakes. And speaking of, we should go and see about that.
And I think around this time is when you're starting to wake up, Theodora. I think it's you still hear the rain outside, you still hear the lightning and thunder rumbling through every now and then, kind of shuddering the inn that you're in as a bolt hit nearby. I think it's more so just the quietness that's in the room. Like, you're always acutely aware of where everybody is. And it's think the idea that Rory and Stani are kind of huddled in a corner and seemingly just staring into nothing, which you're, I think at this point, very used to probably what is happening. And just silence.
Yeah, I think as I wake up, I'm very like groggy, probably didn't sleep all that well. Wake up, look around the room, see Astani and Rory just kind of like blank face staring at each other because they're in like the Mind Palace place. And like, again, to your point, I'm used to it by now, so I just like, oh, so this is we're starting this already. Okay, good. And I think as they're like having this conversation, I'm like getting ready for the day, like splashing water in my face, like, you know, freshening up, and then like, you know, getting into my armor, checking on the body in the fucking armor.
Still
you know,
there.
just things like that. Okay.
Still there. Your body, you've worked it out before. You've had fights before. You feel really sore today.
Yeah, I had like three big
Really
fights
sore
yesterday.
today. You're
plus running.
It's one of those two, like, I wouldn't even say it's necessarily that soreness of like, oh, I had a really good workout. This is just, oh no, I overdid it a little bit. Oh no.
This was, I went past the good workout and I went into hurting myself.
Yep.
Yeah, just kind of like, I had Meganese at the club the other day, and now we're at the morning after.
Yeah.
Just a bit. Well, it's not only that, you had in the battle that happened too, one of them yesterday, you had blood siphoned off, and then you were running on adrenaline for the remainder of the day, and then finally collapsing back. So it's honestly not too far off from like a really bad hangover and just feeling just very drained, for lack of a better term.
It's not even just the adrenaline, but also just like all of the high emotion that I wasn't able to actually like really express until like the very end. And even then, like the talk with Astani was helpful, but like, you know, obviously there's still so much other stuff to work out that just one conversation's not going to do. And just like collapsing under the weight of everything.
And you slowly, I think, see Astani blinking a few times as like they're leaving the mental meeting room that Rory is known to conjure from time to time.
I think by the time they come out, Deodora's like fully just ready to go.
Yeah, I think they're just like, oh, this is different. Standing, moving to sitting. Oh, good morning.
Good
Ready
morning.
to go?
Yes.
Would be
you
just
too?
2 seconds. I need to pack very fast. I had,
Okay.
like, if you can imagine a friend who packs everything and like isn't like an explosion when they go to like a hotel, that's kind of Osani's vibe. So they're just pushing everything in, packing everything together.
So me
Me.
in a hotel, because and I refuse to use any drawers. I just live out of the suitcase, so
No.
everything goes everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, those drawers are not for putting things in. What?
No.
No, why would I do that?
It's not even messy. It's just like Ostani's
just
version of
everywhere.
glamping.
It's
Yeah,
organized chaos. It's organized
it's
chaos.
beautiful, and like we're traveling, right? This is traveling attire.
Here's the
and
thing:
camping.
staying in an inn or at a hotel, that is glamping because you're not at home.
True.
Yes.
That's glamping because you're still slightly uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but at least you have a bed. You know.
Yeah.
That's true. So she just packs everything very quickly and just she's just scurrying around, and has her bag open, just Sakali, and like going under the bed sheets. Like in, and then rushing to get everything like literally off the tables. Just
While Astani is packing, I walk over to Deodora and ask, "Did you pass the night well?"
I passed the night. It's kind of all I got right now.
Well, For now, then, that will have to do. Just between you and I, Astani had some questions about Blackstone, so I kind of gave her a crash course on how we're kind of two people, but kind of contained in one form. That was what was happening earlier. But also, how are you feeling? I ask because, well, you seem to be at the crossroads of many intense and dangerous things, more so than I, which I would say, given Blackstone's history, is quite the achievement.
I don't know how to answer that. I feel a lot of things right now. And it's hard to put them into words because, I mean, I'm sure it's the same for you. Maybe not. No, you've been kind of through something like this before. I saw that flashback. I've never been through anything like this before. So I don't know really how I feel right now.
Well, if at any point you wish to share a bit of it, even if it's not fully cemented yet, let me know.
Theodora, looking, just like still eye contact, gives a beat and just says, I want to go home. That's how I feel right now.
To a land or to your people?
My people. All land is our home.
Rory holds an idea in his mind ever so briefly, and then lets it pass. I guess we'll have to see you home, but I think before we do that, we're going to have to see about this situation with the young lass. Oh, that reminds me. We do have a couple of things as a group that we will need to talk about today.
Such as?
Robbing the nobles.
Ah, yes.
Oh. We have to talk about that today?
You have a
Yes.
long journey?
Unfortunately, well, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on your perspective, yes, that and a couple of other things.
Okay.
So, Astani, when you're done packing and I can have your undivided attention, can we all gather in here to have a brief chat, please?
They're just like in and out, so like they heard the journey part and coming back in, they're like yes, and they go back into the other area. Finally, like a whole bag, and they put it down like yes, undivided. I don't think I brought any toiletries. I'll have to check later, but yes, undivided attention.
Ah, well, okay then. So, herein is the situation. Apparently, a number of people in apparently ordinary black clothing, I suppose more mercenary in their bearing, with bloodshot eyes, happen to make their way here, looking for us, and probably in particular looking for me, but we're aware of the rest of you.
Black cloaks and red eyes. Isn't that
Bloodshot,
people
as if
who-
they had not. Bloodshot, as if they had not slept.
yeah?
It
Isn't that
seems.
what the people in the grotto? Isn't that what they look like before they turned into the? Am I misremembering? Like me as a player, I thought that was the same description as the cloaked figures who were like
Correct.
chasing us before.
Correct. You're correct.
Those were the same people who chased us before they turned into that monster.
So, they seem to have not only come here looking for me, but seem to have a plan to return here. Which means that today, when we leave, for example, we cannot leave via the front door.
Should we even come back?
About that, I have both found a means for us to leave here and be relatively unseen, although in a roundabout fashion, and you may be able to find other places to stay out of sight when we wish to be. But I thought you should be aware, as I'm sure you already are, that there are eyes on us. And it seems that they are very interested in making things a bit more personal. But for what reason, I do not yet know.
There's like a flash of panic that like crosses and like just distress that goes across my face because it's like if I'm being watched, if I'm being followed, then I fucking can't go home. And that's all I want to do right now. She doesn't say this, but it's like clear that's like her first thought.
So, good news is the owner of this inn and Blackstone have a rather unique relationship. And because of that, they will be able to guide us to places and keep safe passage. Mostly for the two of you, if I ask them. But it just means that there are, or maybe on occasion, sometimes where you will have to go to places without me because being seen with me could place you in danger. Either that or I'll just have to go with the tried and true method of being invisible, but yeah.
Why is it that you think that they're after you specifically?
Well, as I had learned about Blackstone yesterday from Benji, when you met Blackstone so long ago in Illipin, that was a danger then, and he was sent away there for their safety.
Does it have to do with these individuals or was it safety from something else?
Well, as I'm sure you have experienced, Blackstone is a rather unique type of being, and some people have, let's say, nefarious designs for what they would like to do with that sort of thing. It will not be safe for them if they're captured by these people.
Okay.
So that's one thing. But the other thing, and more important, but possibly more fun, is that there will be a tournament of some kind where there will be revelry and battles, and nobles will be placing bets on who will win what. And during that time, they will not be at home. And Blackstone, care of myself, has been asked if they would not mind, for the sake of the people of the grotto, the graveyard district, the people that Tyneal in his position would work to rescue and to at least improve their conditions, if we wouldn't mind assisting the nobles to do something a little bit more worthy with their money, their possessions, and so on. In lay terms, while they're at the tournament, we should rob them.
No, I got that. I'm just
I'm
okay.
doing the robbing.
I added arson for free. We have tools, we have very simple tools to do them with. And they pull a cube out of the bag.
Okay. I guess my one concern is while we're robbing the nobles and they're holding this tournament, betting all the money with the prize, I think it was like 5,000 gold or something like that. I just worry about what's going to happen to the people because I don't trust that tournament.
Yes, that is my concern as well.
What I would say is, on the surface, it is me doing a favor to people who have, behind the scenes and in their own way, have been caring for Blackstone and protecting them from unseen dangers. However, it does also mean one very important thing for all of us. The people who are involved at the highest levels with the recent and very unfortunate things that have befallen the people of this town, including Aerie, are also people from that caste in society. And that means we can look for clues.
Is it just us doing this, or is Benji giving us help? Because I'm not great at... I don't do sneaking.
Well, you might not do sneaking very well, but you do distractions. However, and very importantly, he has enlisted the help of many. So, no worries there. That will not be the sole providence of our crew. And in fact, he simply asked if I would help. He has not involved the two of you, although you can volunteer if you wish.
I think I need more details.
Yes, I would like to hear more.
This, and also just about the tournament, because yes, I could be a distraction, but I might be... maybe my distraction can be at the tournament. I don't know.
Well, you know, what I will say to you there, brushing back the hood just a bit. The tournament is a very simple and straightforward thing. Multiple, fighters clashing together in combinations of might or magic, whatever the set rules are, because we know how the nobles like to cosplay as if they are at war with the lives of other people because they simply have the money to do it. That is a very simple and straightforward thing. The other side of that operation will involve just, well, quite honestly, taking things away from them that they will probably not even miss while it is gone. And, well, taking that and then redistributing whatever wealth we get to the people via, well, let's say, specialized and very well-practiced means.
I guess...
I suppose as for the two of you, this is also an option for you if you have things that you need to look into during that time. You could.
Okay. I think my one concern about this is that we have a tournament with so many lives, so many souls, and we just had a monster that was going through the city devouring souls. It just seems like, and I mean, I guess I don't really know like what the three of us can like without help can do, but it just seems like it would be fish in a barrel.
That does seem like a rather unfortunate side effect of, well, if we had all of the people gathered in one place to do a thing, then here we are. Because most people, whether noble or layman, would also be at the tournament rather than at home.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll be honest, I'm having a hard time seeing a straight path lately.
I suppose, unfortunately, the path forward rarely ever is. We have a couple of days, I believe, until the tournament happens. So, between that and, well, currently trying to examine what we can find of Ares' condition, and I believe getting the Bone Weaver thread, which we still need to do, we may have time to mobilize some people to take some preventative measures, perhaps. And I know of a couple of ways that we can do that. But that would require me to go and talk to a certain wizard, who, if I'm not mistaken, still lives here.
Can we just do one thing at a time?
Unfortunately, we have to.
Okay. No, I need it. I can't think about robbing nobles right now. Really.
Okay.
When there's so
Well,
much other stuff to do.
as I understand it in our list of priorities at the moment, finding the items that we need to find to save what remains of Ares' soul before it is extinguished. Getting you back to people of the Shiftweed for you to figure out what has happened so far and how to protect yourselves in the future. And we can just start with those two for the time being.
Okay, thank you. Astani?
Yes, Theodora.
Oh. I would like to hear your opinion.
I share the same as you. You want... It is bad luck or just bad timing that we are followed, watched, because the next course of action is to reassure or validate, just make sure that our people are safe. I would like to do that with the Temple District. I could send information or word, and you would like to do that with your family.
Yeah.
Any other course of action would be done on shaky ground without that reassurance. Rory, I don't mind showing the nobles a lesson or two. I might look away from the thieving. I guess I could be convinced if it shows a truer path with the lady, but without that reassurance, the satisfaction would be less sweet. Is there a way that we could go? Whether it is through hiding or invisibility or honestly just a meeting place in the dark that could get word or news that would alleviate you at least. Or your pain, your burden. I can at least do that with the other temples. That's primarily my opinion.
I know I asked for us to do one thing at a time, but one thing we should also take care of, and I like point to the wardrobe with the body. I meant to leave that at the gate, but
So you do
then I got
unpack
hit
some
by a-
things into the drawers.
oh, I mean, just stuff that that's stuff, not stuff I care about, as in it's not my personal property. But also, I didn't want Sparky to start playing with it.
Yeah, very brilliant.
But
where do you wish to take it?
I don't know. This person was puppeted. I don't think there's any. I mean, I don't know. I saw the little blood marble roll out of them, so I don't think there's a linkage to whoever it was anymore. But if we are to dispose of it, we should maybe take some precautions, just in case.
Understood.
Physical or magical?
Both.
Oh, I could help with one.
Well, I suppose, let's see. There is the option to look at removing spells, removing curses, placing it in an anti-magic container, sending it to an extra plane, or contacting the staff that Tyneo has, Hyacinth in particular, and seeing if they have a particular way that they would prefer to dispose of it and or examine it, and then taking it there.
I'm going to take the hands off before we do that, though.
Of course.
So they can't cast spells in case. Like, I don't do magic, but I know how I've seen spellcasters. I know they use their hands for a lot of stuff. I might take the tongue too.
That was the other path for us. Granted, I don't use it much, but I was.
I understand the two of you
bring it
are
with us as a necrom.
I understand the two of you are uncomfortable. You are both spellcasters.
It's a little bit less discomfort and a little bit more concern. Advanced levels of magic or specialized types of magic are kinds that can be used sometimes without any of those items.
Yes. I was more concerned with, if I could, I always have this prepared, working with a lady, I could raise the dead and it could come with us.
Do you need a soul for that?
I don't think they would. They won't function the same. But we wouldn't have to dispose of anything, and honestly, it would kind of add numbers to our traveling party and maybe help to push people away from if we're trying to be sneaky.
You get to see me eyeing like the head and the neck, like, advanced levels of spells don't need those kind of components. I'll just take the fucking head off. And can't do spells if you can't think, bitch. Like that's just like it's like on my face. Like I'm gonna fucking chop this head off.
I'll just step over here for a moment and let you two ladies discuss. And I step into the other room, and I believe we have like contact bracelets for Tyneo.
Earrings.
It's earrings.
Earrings.
Little earrings. Okay. You get to use them once every 2 days. So.
Okay. I believe there was a command word for this. I'm not sure what the command word is. As a player, I'm not sure what the command word is. Hello and good morning. Is this Commander Tyneo?
You're serious? He's kind of grunting back. Probably was just sleeping. Just kind of waking them up. It's a
It's
little
like, it's
late in
just
the day for him, but yeah.
like I have no like because it's dark. It's one of those, as you've described the weather, it's the kind of dark where you don't really know what time of day it is because it
Correct.
always seems the same kind of dark all day.
Not a single rooster has crowed yet, and you know
No.
it's just too fucking early.
And it's like not a single rooster is crowing. It's
He,
like 2 in the afternoon at this point.
yeah, he literally went to bed like an hour ago.
Yeah, pretty much. But you do hear him kind of cough and wince for a moment and goes, yes. Rory, isn't it?
Correct. In order to not be a burden or more of a burden right now, is Hyacinth nearby?
She is. And you kind of can hear movement directly into the earpiece, so it's quite possible he might have fallen asleep on Hyacinth after moving from the desk. And you kind of hear her quietly be like, what?
Good morning, Hyacinth. This is Rory.
Good. The cube eater, right?
Yes. I would like you to know I have not ingested any today.
Good. That, believe me, makes both Tiny and I very, very relieved to hear as well.
We do. I have a question for the both of you.
Of course.
We happen to have the body of an assailant that the commander ran into. Before we try to find whatever varied means of trying to deal with it, I wanted to ask you if either of you would like this body for your own personal reasons or examinations. Because the other option at the moment, as Theodora is considering it, and I can probably hear like bits of Theodora talking about how to deal, like decisively to deal with spellcasters from the other room. Theodora is deciding to, let's say, try a few methods that seem to be rather decisive for dealing with spellcasters.
I think you hear Tiny'll just laugh and go, that sounds about right for Theodora. I taught her well. And she's got good instincts. Yeah, I would personally, well, I'm not so much of an expertise when it comes to doing that kind of autopsy that you're speaking of. We do have some trusted members within the Crown's Guard that I would like to. Obviously, I don't really want you lugging a body around town, as that could, frankly, the fact that it wasn't brought up yet in the headlines, and you can kind of hear what sounds like even amongst the rain and thunder outside on his end, it sounds like not like a shout, but just yelling, which you would know Rory is like the town crier moving through the streets with like papers to sell, telling about the headlines for the day. You have an unfortunate amount of cubes, correct?
Currently 48.
That's what I mean by unfortunate. Okay. What I want you to do...
Isn't it 47 because you ate one?
No, I started
it's
with
48
50.
because...
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
What I want you to do is very carefully move into a room where the others are not in and the body is. And you can throw the cube on the body. I'll need you to concentrate, but I will be able to transport. And I think you hear Hyacinth kind of arguing with Tiny'll and him just going, it's fine. I will be able to transport it here for ease.
Tiny'll?
Yes.
You haven't had nearly enough sleep to replenish your mana enough to do that.
I have enough for this. and then I'm going back to sleep for a little bit. Hyacinth's orders. I've taken a partial morning. I need to get up anyways, as I need to take the report up to the castle anyways. So
You hear Hyacinth like mutter like Theodore's orders.
literally, yeah. I have to take it personally. So doing that, and then it's straight back to bed for a little bit. So
Hold on for a moment.
and I think at this point you just hear almost like when you're on a phone call with someone, they're trying to be quiet, but they're not muting. You can just hear Tyneal and Hyacinth kind of arguing very quietly.
Hey, Hyacinth,
Yeah.
you wouldn't happen to have sand on you, would you?
I do.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that there is at least one person here. I am going to send the body with a scroll. When you get the scroll, if you could acquire that sand, I need you to take that scroll and read what is on it.
Okay. It's not going to explode, right? You seem to be, no offense, you just seem to be very into explosives.
None taken. I'm into experimentation, but no, this is safe.
Okay. I'll take Theodora's word with this and the fact that she is with you just because I just met you. Nothing personal.
So, I let that whole thing disconnect, and well, actually, I keep the phone on. It just kind of walk into the room and go. Right. So, we do have a plan and a confirmation about what to do with this particular body. Can we have that just brought into the room, please?
You walk in and like Theodore's just like circling this body, like mentally marking where she should cut to make it as clean as possible when she starts.
And when I say,
and Astani is probably just like going back and forth of like, maybe not there, just, I don't know. Like, honestly.
Can I have you two step out of the room, please?
Oh. Why?
Hyacinth's orders, as it were.
Theodora looks at Rory like, that means nothing to me. Hyacinth does not give me orders. I give Hyacinth orders.
Tyneal was right next to them at the time and also said I should do this, and that
I also give Tyneal orders. Honestly.
I pull out a piece of parchment and just start writing.
Mm-hmm.
And I get to the end of it. I'm going to tell you here, Jordan. I'm going to tell you what I did here.
And just so it's clear, because you all are sharing one room, this is not like where you were at before. The other room is essentially the bathroom. So Rory's either telling you to go to the bathroom or go out in the hallway.
Rory went into the bathroom and then like did like prestidigitation to make the sound of like the because I imagine it's maybe like just like an ever flowing water in there.
Yes.
Or unless they have plumbing, I don't know, I doubt it.
No.
But like just use prestidigitation to make the water super loud so we could overhear the conversation.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
Jordan's laughing.
Okay. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
And so that is what I put on the scroll that I'm writing. Like just the instructions on how to do that.
Love it.
And I then go, please, pretty please. I promise I won't. And I pull out the cube.
Oh, I run.
Immediate. Just to get out. And they're just like.
Literally, part of my body ache is because of that fucking cube.
And you see Rory throw it at the body. And a barrier appears around it.
Not as large as the one, Theodora, you were in the day before. This actually seems to be because both Rory and I think in this instance, Tyneal is very much the bot that's overriding. So it's more concentrated to a smaller space. The construct of this kind of force field forming around the body with the parchment, and there is, I think, accompanying with the lightning outside, another flash, and the body disappears along with it. There is a little bit of char on the ground, as it seems like it's burnt some of the wood as that happened. You hear after a few moments in your ear, Rory, as the body seems to have made it to its pinpoint. And Hyacinth, there seems to be some kind of scuffle of some sorts as Hyacinth very quickly runs over. And you just hear Tiny like mumbling, like, "What are you doing?" Before there's a thud on the opposite side of the phone. And Hyacinth saying, "Thank you. He's sleeping."
Oh, cast sleep on him or something.
Cat nap.
Hyacinth.
Same difference to
Yep.
me, honestly.
So, probably will come in handy for you if you need to make a copy of it, although I might need to send you another scroll if that's the case.
Already done.
Anyway, that will...
She's like, I took this and put it in my spell book.
Literally, yeah.
Wizard shit.
Essentially speaking, this gives him the glorious benefit of taking maybe half a shift's worth of sleep. It's handy for wizards, but I imagine it will be even handier for Tyneal if he is either awake from stress or at least experiences fitful sleep. At least you know he will have about 4 hours worth.
That's more than he usually gets. So, perfect. We will, we'll let you know if we find anything with this body as well. Just so we're all roped in on the situation.
There is a particular orb of some kind that was noted on the body, but that is not currently present on it. We're not sure where the marble went.
Okay.
This person is a practitioner of blood magic, and as you know, unusual magic needs unusual precautions. So do keep that in mind.
Yeah, Tyneal was mentioning it yesterday while we were doing our debriefing.
I think Deodora can only hear Rory's side of the conversation, but she says, or they were being puppeted by somebody who knows blood magic. I think this might just be a body that was used.
Well, thank you. Be careful in your day ahead, and if you need anything, while you have used your way to contact Tyneal, you do still have Deodora and Astani. They're able to over the next 2 days. So we'll keep you abridged of the situation. But be careful.
And one more thing.
Yes.
Actually, let's just say, I do believe sooner than later, if the word on the wind is true, you'll have some information about where that tower landed if you wish to recover it.
We already located it yesterday. We're working to try and remove it. And you kind of just hear this long, drawn-out sigh, and then she kind of winces, almost like she was doing it too loud. We're working on it.
Understood. Oh, and by the way, trust me, for the duration of that spell, he won't hear a thing. You have 10 minutes.
That's good to hear.
She's like, finally, I could get some work.
Literally that.
And the connection cuts. Well, that takes care of that, and I managed to use a cube without blowing anything up.
Very proud.
How many
suppose
more
given-
do you have left?
Well, let's see. I only remember using 2, but then I also remember giving Deodora 1, and I may have handed the cleric a couple.
Osani
So-
writes in her, like, the back of her journal, just...
If I'm rounding at this moment, we should be at approximately 40 cubes.
All right, 40 cubes.
Okay.